I was gonna just say, so I'm gonna change topics and go to a more positive thing. Sort maybe we'll see, right? Depending on what you say. So I was curious about like the project that you showed on YouTube, the recent thing
Project.
that I guess that you said that you had been working on. That I guess what you had lost it or something like that.
Yeah, I
Okay, that's a
basically,
good
while I
place to
was
try.
making it, I had made some exports because I was thinking of making some like making of videos out of it, and I ended up having to use those exported videos to cut together a film. I had lost probably about 60% of what I made.
So then, is there any chance that you'll revisit it in the future? Then once you kind of like, I don't know, because I know like
Oh,
that's rough to lose a lot on that. So I know I can understand where it's like ah fuck this, I don't want to do this anymore. But I don't, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, but how do you stand on that?
what do you mean? Like, am I gonna come back to it, or am I just gonna continue to do stuff outside of dreams? Like, what exactly
Yeah, well, I
do
mean,
you mean?
because again, because if you lose all this progress, right? You lose all this stuff that you've worked on, right? Like, what is your mentality at that point?
I would say that what I did put out would have been better, but not just because of not just because I would have had more stuff to put into the product, but because when I lost everything, it was a ginormous blow. Like I had been waiting. To be fair, like as far as this specific story, which I even altered to Making Dreams because I wasn't trying to do a full blown script with like all the characters when I could barely make a head, but for one character. But like
Amazing.
when I lost all that stuff, I almost stopped. Like I almost just said, "Fuck dreams, fuck all of it, I'm out." Like that's how hard it hit me. My like the voices I did and everything, I freestyled that script. Like yeah, I had the idea, but it's nothing compared to what my actual script is. But I ended up freestyling it because I was so frustrated. I just didn't. I wouldn't say I didn't care, but I almost didn't care anymore. I was just like, the whole point now is to just put something out to prove that you can do it. Because as I've stated many times, trying not to take over our Made in Dreams podcast with my bitching, like there are many times I've almost been like triggered into, well, you want to know something about dreams. but like really, I'm a person like growing up, like as the fair tones like to call it, the ghetto. Like I have no connections. I've literally like until now in my life, this is the first time I've really had money, and I've wanted to make films my entire life. And dreams to me, because as I said on the other thing, bless you, Jamie James.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had stated that like when I saw dreams, for me it was like this is what I've been asking for. And I had literally, if you go back, I used to do a podcast called the Get Good Gaming Podcast. And I, outside of the other topic that can't be named, I would always talk about what I wanted from a video game. And Dreams is it. Dreams is what I've always wanted from a video game. And when it came out, I was like, this is it. Now I don't have to rely on people. I've almost started production on films more times than I care to recount, with people flaking, with all the troubles that come with trying to get everybody on the same page. I've almost had films so many times. So when Dreams came, I was like, this is finally it. No more waiting for anybody. I'm just going to do this. And I put my head down for 3 months. Not talking to anybody, not doing anything. All I did was wake up in the morning and just start working, just grind. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'll finally get to show people what I can do. And then I lost 60% of my project. I'm sure you can hear in my voice. It's a lot. It really is. And so I almost said, fuck it to dreams and everything. But at that point, I sat for about a week just shaking my head at the TV. And then I was like, you know what? You still got to prove that you can do it. And I just, that's when I was like, export, like all the things I'd exported. I went straight upstairs. I still didn't get on Dreams. I was, because I was mad. but I went upstairs. I like got all the things, all the clips that I had gotten together, and I was like, I opened my Adobe Suite, and I was like, you're gonna finish it. You're gonna finish what you can, and just to prove that you can fucking do it. And I'm happy with what I did, considering what I went through.
To be fair to your project, what you actually released, you would have never have known that it was just clips molded together to try and make something out of nothing. The clips that you have actually worked really well together, and it was consistent.
Yeah, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So basically, right now, while I'm meeting people like me, Mr. Wushi and Bivson and you, Jamie, and you know Eddie, I'm just learning, because at some point I want to go back and put in remake everything, even the stuff that's in the clips. I want to go back, remake everything, and do it better. And then I can finally release what I wanted to release from the beginning.
Yeah. Just do a redux.
Yes.
How open are you to like getting people together to help with it?
I'm super open.
Because I mean, like, I'm sure, like, well, especially because like you have like, you know, that to show like of you know what you are trying to do essentially. Because you know you have the old version of it. So I mean, because that makes it a lot easier. Obviously, if you're trying to do it all by yourself, that's ridiculously hard, right?
Yeah,
But
I didn't have the
like,
community at my back as I do now.
Dreams is literally built on that, of just the community and like collaborating with people. And I don't know, like it just feels like with all this passion you have for it, that people would see that and they would just really want to like help with it. Like I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, like shit, how can I ask like to help with this? Because like I could see how important it is, how much it matters, and the fact that, you know, all this happened, like I feel bad listening to it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I try to keep
like,
it.
That's what I'm trying to think of, like how to help now.
I try to keep it as a laughing thing, because I don't want to be like the woe is me, like, you know, the thing. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just whining about, oh, this corruption thing that happened to me. Like, but yeah, I mean, if as I've talked about, and Jamie says I'm salty about this on the stream, because we brought it up in one of the podcasts, 2 of them actually, and we only have 4 episodes. But the point is, like, no, like like before I got mixed up with Lucid Nebula Studios, like I had actually put out that I wanted to make this. But I didn't get basically any feedback. Like no one reached out to me. And so I was like, okay, well then I'll do it myself. And that's how that started. But like I said, like part of this whole thing and why I'm like, I love Dreams, but Dreams hurt me real bad. It hurt me real bad. And so this is me, and like this and the podcast and everything is me falling back in love with Dreams and getting back up, because I've basically stated I'm not working on, like, I'll do characters and stuff, things that I can quickly put in and save and, you know, throw up online as private. I'll do that stuff, but I'm still not comfortable working in Dreams. Like, I'm just not.
That's understandable though, from the experience.
It's straight up trauma. So
I mean, yeah, honestly though,
like it is. It's straight up trauma, and I just don't feel comfortable working in it, which was another reason why I brought up that topic during our episode we did with you, Wushi, about like how do people feel if you build in Dreams but you don't do everything in Dreams? Because I'm just not ready. I'm just not. I'm not ready to work solely in Dreams yet.
Yeah, and that's again, that's fully understandable,
Yeah.
right? Like with all that in mind, like yeah, because I
No.
know other people have had like similar experiences in the past. Not a ton, but enough to where it's like you can see it's an issue, right? And I do actually know there was some people that I think have since left Dreams for the same reason. Where it's like, oh, I lost all my shit. It's like I'm done. I'm not coming back, and haven't
Yeah.
heard from them about it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that helped was I saw someone tweet at Media Molecule that they had the problem, but somehow theirs fixed itself, and it gave me hope that one day maybe mine will too, but it hasn't happened yet. But it
You never
also,
know.
but I responded to him saying like, yeah, the same thing happened to me. It really sucks. I hope you get your stuff back. And someone from Media Molecule, because the reason I found this on Twitter is because it had happened to me again. I went to Twitter to complain at Media Molecule when I found someone else already doing it. And I was like, and the person that was talking to him, I think, was from Media Molecule. And so like they said, hey, see if it comes back. If it doesn't hit me back, I'd like to troubleshoot what's going on with it. And luckily that time it actually did come back. Like what I had been working on did come back. And when it did, I pushed it right out to pushed it right out to YouTube, and I was like, "Yep," and that's it. Like, so that's another reason where I'm like, yeah, it's just
terrifying
weird.
at this point.
It's horrible. It
I'm
really
imagining
is.
that happening to me, and I'm like, that would actually be the worst. And I probably would do the same thing and just be like, nope, I'm done. Screw this.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I worry about this all the time because he's had this experience. And, as Lucid Nebula Studios, we are working on a game, although we can't really say any much about it. But it is a pressing concern. We have a team of like 8 people on Lucid Nebula Studios. And each person is working on a different element of the game. And my concern is, can you imagine one day, one of the team members just pop up and say, hey, I've just lost 20 hours of stuff. And then someone else says, yeah, I've lost 16 hours of stuff. That would just be so devastating.
Yeah.
And it would put such a hold on the project, and it is worrying that this stuff is happening to users. And I hope they look into it, because if that happened to us, I mean, Jesus, would be back at square one again.
I trust them. I trust them to, like, I have that amount of faith in Media Molecule, where I think it will get straightened out, because I don't think they know why it's happening.
I think it's down to the amount of stuff that's going on their servers, and I don't think they was prepared for the amount of shit that people was going to upload.
Yeah,
all those memes are killing it.
We're back to the memes. We're back to the memes.
Fucking Shrek.
Shrek has destroyed the servers, and that's why everyone's losing their stuff.
Shrek can live on forever in the Dreamiverse, but actual cinematic shit gets lost.
Look, Will, like, they had to get rid of your stuff to make room for like another Shrek game. That was more important. It took priority. We need more of that.
It really is just like, I mean, like I said, Dreams was literally a savior that turned into a demon that I'm trying to learn to love.
A bittersweet program.
Yes, where I'm like, yes, all my dreams have been answered and they're dead again. Good. That's it. Sitting over here like Nebuchadnezzar. It's just, I've dreamed a dream, but now the dream is gone from me.